Welcome everybody to another episode of Beefmaster Stuff with Mike and Bennett. We have special guest Robert Scott from North Texas. I believe he's in Sherman. How you guys doing on weather up there?
Oh, we're doing good. I'm close to Sherman, but I'm actually located in Anna, but that'll do.
Anna. Oh, that's right. That's right. Anna. That's all the same from people down here. You know, Fort Worth, kind of
I'm
that
with you.
whole area.
So I spent a lot of time in like McKinney and Van Alstine. So
It's the same area, right?
well, that's like saying Victoria and Goliad are the same place.
Probably with the Robert, it probably is. All right, so we got the word of the day is
The
0.5%.
number of the day.
The phrase of the day, the number of the day is 0.5%. And I did a little research today after me, Robert, and Bennett. We had a little discussion. Was it Friday evening?
Yep, in the truck.
In the truck coming from a meeting out in Beeville. But we started talking about something that I think is pretty relevant to what we have going. So I'll just go ahead and add this little graph that I had ChatGPT put together.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah,
This will hurt your feelings.
This is going to hurt your feelings. All right, here we go. Just really study that. I mean, make comments as you will, but one thing that I just absolutely find just disgusting is Longhorns 1%. They have twice the commercial bull market than Beefmaster does, and that is a travesty.
Now, is that Longhorns and like Corianis?
I bet they would be
Are
kind of
they
grouped
are they in
together.
the same group there?
Yeah.
Or are the Corianis covered in the other cross?
I mean, you have other breeds, composite breeds. So it'd be like, Sim Angus. I guess Sim Angus is.
I guess like your Star 5 bulls would be there, but
Yeah.
no, because Sim Angus got its own little thing.
Sim Angus is 17% of the. They're just below Red Angus, and Hereford's number 2. Angus is obviously number 1. But that's just kind of a travesty that we're getting beat by Maninju, Brayford, Shorthorn, Santa Gertrudis. Gelbvieh is beating us 5%. They have 10 times the amount.
But now, fellas, but here's what I'll say about that. I gotta acknowledge, while we probably are on the bottom, one of them, I just don't believe there's more Longhorn bulls or Key Angus, Maine Anjou. Where they even at? Where they at? And I'm quite
not
sure
around here. I mean,
they're-
I've seen plenty of Gert bulls, plenty of Brahman bulls, lots of Brangus, lots of Charolais, lots of Red Angus, Herefords, and Angus. But
and I would
Maine
think
Anjou-
there's more Charlets being used than Red Angus. I would think,
Yeah,
but I don't know. You know,
yeah. This is the Chat GPT. So I mean,
right?
AI is perfect, and they know everything now. So this is
100%.
yeah.
But the moral of the story is a half a percent is a half of a percent.
Yeah, 10%. What I was told by people that are smarter than me that that was the number, and this is what ChatGPT came up with too. Yeah, northern states. I assume that a lot of those go. They have a lot of cattle, a lot of big country up there, but
That's true.
That's just a travesty. So like, Beefmaster. I asked ChatGPT what were the negatives for Beefmaster, and I guess I'll go ahead and share that too. Where is it? The negatives about Beefmaster. We're going to go a little bit bigger. Less uniformity. Beefmaster are composite breeds, so color, marking, size, and body type can vary more than in some breeds. This can be a drawback for those wanting a very uniform calf crop. But I don't know how much I believe that, because I mean, how many people in the commercial cattle industry are raising potloads of calves?
Yeah.
I mean, how many places have you been where all the cows are the same color? How many commercial operations have you been where all the cows are black? All the cows are red.
I've been to commercial operations where all the calves are black.
All the calves.
All the calves are black. The cows are, just assorted. It's assortment. Yellow cows, red, white faced cows, tiger stripe cows.
I mean, even if you even look at like an order buyer, I imagine have to be one with some kind of size, but he may have more black calves, but there'll be red calves, there'll be yellow calves, and things of that nature, as long as they're similar type and kind. And even when you get so many, if there's some differences, you'll cut those off and group those up into pots. And then the ones you can't, you'll probably run those to like the sale barn or whatever. So uh, I'm
Yeah,
not sure the kind of uniformity they're talking about, but they don't have to be uniform in color.
yeah, I mean, you think about the uniformity, like white's such a big problem in the Beefmaster breed, but then you have Hereford 20% of the commercial cattle market. So is the white really the problem? I don't know. But on number 2, carcass perception. Historically, some feeders and packers viewed Beefmasters as having less marbling than British breeds, while modern genetics have improved carcass quality. It still requires focus and selection. Because that is true. Like my average IMF might be below or above your IMF. I mean, I would assume mine's higher.
I'd say probably double.
Yeah.
I would hope it's at least double.
Yeah, it's something we've been working on and everything else, but it just shows you there's just there's a difference in the marbling. And I think with Angus, you just assume that all of them are pretty good. Across the board, on average, they're better. But I don't think they have the maternal abilities that the Beefmaster have personally. But what's your thoughts on that, Robert?
I don't think you have to be everything to everybody. I think you just have to be really good at what you want to be good at and be able to educate people on how it can benefit them. So, like, if you think about it, you've got Brahma bulls that are being crossed on Hereford cows. Obviously, that's not for carcass. That's just to make, cows that have some heterosis that are pretty tough, right?
Yep.
So, carcass isn't the end all be all. And what they'll do is, they'll put some other kind of bull on them, whether that be a black Angus or red Angus, etc., to get the calves they want to get. Also, Charlet, our cattle will marble with Charlet, kind of where we hurt in comparison. Not every time, but on average, right?
Yield grades.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And but now you're seeing more Beefmaster bulls turn up that is going to run with them. And I think with these studies, once they get the data out, it may be a little while, but once they get the data out, uh, they're going to see that these Beefmaster bulls will go on these Angus cows and provide a very acceptable yield grade with better health. I mean, I've heard it once. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Literally, Charlet calves are not that healthy in the feedlot. I mean, yeah, they yield good, but they got to be healthy because if they get sick and you have to doctor them, that hurts not just the performance but the yield grade, right?
In the pocketbook.
Good bit.
Because it's not only like say you give a Draxon shot. Draxon shot's like $40.
You don't get,
but then you get a 21-day drawback period or 30-day drawback period.
You don't.
They're not.
It starts snowballing, right?
Yeah, you're not going to get to doctor just one.
No.
But see what I'm saying. So if you're commercial, let me ask you guys this question. And you can have the yield grade, and since you're going on some other kind of English cow and you're going to get the marbling, all right, and then you can get the health out of them. Isn't that a no-brainer?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is get the negative part off of it, and we're just going to kind of drag this off the side. That's just more opportunity for people to look at that as a negative.
Well, I mean, look, it doesn't hurt to look at what our blind spots are.
Absolutely. I think we need to be real with ourselves. This is the only way we're gonna improve is we just got to be honest with ourselves and have that conversation.
So
I'll go back to the wheel.
Yeah. So I mean,
7%. I really can't with some of these.
Yeah, and then all right. So the next one about the negatives about Beefmaster cattle, and again, this is just something that ChatGPT came up with. I punched it in and said, "Hey, come up with something," and I didn't bait it in anything. This is just what it came up with. So this is taking whatever it can find on the internet, and this is what it's coming up with. So the carcass perception, which I think we don't need to go for prime carcasses. We just need to have a product that people are not going to go backward.
No, it's exactly what Clark has been saying the last 3 times he's been on there.
Yeah.
We don't need to chase the outliers. We need to cull the low performers.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
I agree with that.
So market recognition. In many parts of the U.S., buyers are more familiar with Angus-based cattle. Beefmaster genetics may not always receive the same recognition or marketing advantage at sale barns. We don't get very much of a discount in Victoria. I've topped the market in Hallettsville.
Have you gotten one of them letters from Cuero? Because I sure have.
Yeah, you top the market, you get a letter, and it feels good, especially when you get them. But I've raised some black calves. We brought some to Edna. This is probably about 15 years ago. They were from some Tiger Stripe F1s out of Brangus Bulls. That's where we started, and disposition was an issue for us. But we did top the market. But it was, I mean, it still wasn't that good. I think we got $850 a head, and at that time it was awesome. But I mean, if you get $850 per calf now, you'd complain. I mean, the market's definitely changed.
You'd be taking your cows to the barn the next day.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so number 4, the selection pressures vary. The 6 essential approach means some breeders may place less emphasis on traits like growth and carcass merit. As with any breed, the quality of cattle depends on the breeder's priorities. And that, I think I think I've heard Robert say this in the past, is you buy from a program that you're kind of aligns with what you're going for.
No.
Well, and I was going to say too, you know, I'm going to disagree with ChatGPT on there. They got more information than what I do, but where ChatGPT and I differ is, Mike, when you select bulls from whatever the programs are that you select from, you're selecting those bulls for your market, right? And I'm selecting bulls for my market. So I just think on that front, as a breed, if we, what's the word I'm looking for? If we get behind the versatility, I don't see it as a disadvantage. In fact, I think it can work in your favor.
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
Some people are going for show cattle and they want a really pretty cattle, and they're willing to, you know, do what they need to, and they get a bull from Bennett or.
You just have to. It's all about
give and take.
It's selection pressure.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the next one we're going to talk about is. It's selection pressure.
Hey, as a matter of fact, Tom Laster, one of his ideologies behind the breeding season was to fit the cow to your environment, right? And so his thought process was his cattle aren't going to look like Mike's cattle because their environment's different. And the breeding season will dictate which cattle can survive in that environment and which ones can't. So there's something to be said about that flexibility in terms of phenotype and where they're going to go.
Yeah, your phenotype has to match your genotype. Is that
no? Genotype plus environment equals phenotype.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So your genotype needs to match your environment to get your ideal phenotype.
Yeah, correct. All right.
Or you have to work it backwards. Your ideal phenotype minus your struggles of your environment equal the genotype you need to look for. Your ideal phenotype minus the struggles of your environment equal the genotype you're hunting.
Yeah, and you just have to...
Form follows function.
Yeah, form follows function. That's right. All right, so number 5, can mature into larger cows. If selection and management are not properly balanced, some Beefmaster bloodlines can produce larger mature cows that may require more resources than a low input operation can support.
I'm just going to go input a picture of every one of my cows into ChatGPT so it knows that is not a problem.
Yeah, I talked to somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was, and they're like, "Oh, some of my cows are 1,500-1,600 pounds." I don't have a cow in my place that's. I think the biggest cow is probably 1,350.
I mean, my biggest cow that's not a fat donor cow is
that's a whole different ballgame. Just your normal run of the mill cow.
It's probably 1,320.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no need for them to be that big bigger than that in my opinion. But
and you're constantly chasing trends. The trend for smaller, low input cattle has been going on for years, and Beefmasters really improved the cattle because. I saw an ad. I think it was a Beefmaster Breeders United ad that these aren't your grandpappy's Beefmasters.
They're not.
They're not. They've changed drastically. They've cleaned them up. And you know, depending on your environment or your area, there's some really good breeders out there. I mean, look at how well Doug's done in Idaho. I mean, he's just has the Idaho
and
that market.
What are Doug's cows
They're
average weight?
small,
1,100,
1,200 pounds. I mean, that's just
But now,
Go
but
ahead.
I'll say this though: are they 11 or 1,200 pounds with some substance? And what I mean by that is, if you put them somewhere where there would be more grass, would they be heavier than that? Now, I don't mean that as a put down to Doug. I don't mean that at all.
no.
I think
I follow what you're saying. I don't think.
I mean, I think you're just kind of, you're comparing a mountain goat to a boar goat.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Bennett, because I'm about to hit you with something. If they're raising bulls like what I see him post, and they look like good bulls,
They are good bulls.
I think they're light in terms of weight, but I think there's got to be some substance there because, in my experience, man, when you get a true 1,100-pound cow, and I've had one, they're like bone. I mean, when they can't get any bigger, okay, on average, they're going to be like bone or they're going to be short, and the sale barn don't like either one of those. So for him to be raising bulls like he is,
I feel that bone is the first thing an order buyer is willing to give them.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the last.
You think
time
he's willing to give up bone?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's been 5 years ago, but I talked to one, and they don't like bone because they'll put them in that category of plain cattle. Plain cattle meaning Corrientes, Longhorn, stuff like that. Now, they may not want bone the way you want bone, but they don't like bone.
I mean, I don't think
It's all relative.
if their feet look like Corriente feet, we got a problem. Okay, if they're that's kind of the extreme, but I think the Beefmaster deal, our average bone in a cow is closer to most breeds extreme.
I'm just telling you, if you get an 1,100-pound cow, a true 1,100-pound cow that you weighed, she's little all the way around. And real quick, Michael, not only is she little,
because we were out there when they were calving, so they're probably around. I would say they're 11, 12, maybe 1,300 pounds. They're not small. I wouldn't call them small cows. So maybe we're a little bit off on our estimate, but
I think I've got some small cows in my house because I've got one that I know don't weigh more than 11, and she weaned like a 675.
yeah. I mean, I've had cows like my 2-year-olds. They're weaning off. I mean, I've had several of them that are under 1,000 pounds whenever you wean a calf, but they'll wean a calf that's 550 pounds. And
so we gotta look at, okay, and I think this is relevant, not just the weight, but the body condition score and the weight. Because I've seen bulls where they may weigh a ton, but their body condition score of an 8, and they're like, well, that bull's bigger than this other one. Well, he's a body condition score of a 5, but the 5, if he's in the same environment, will make a bigger bull. But all I want to point out is this, fellas, 1,100-pound cow, she's little, and she's going to have little legs, or she's going to be short, and probably both. And that's going to go over to the calves. That's all I'm saying, and they're not going to like that.
I see it, but I don't.
I bet you Doug's cows in a decent environment will weigh 1,300 pounds.
Yeah, I wouldn't call his cows small, but I mean, I've had some smaller cows, and they just have a different. He has very low input.
What was the average? Because this is where our programs are going to overlap a little bitty bit. Are you ready?
All right.
What was the average mature cow weight out of a Howard cow?
1,350 maybe.
Oh, mines were way smaller than that.
They were small.
I never had a big one.
They were small. Oh, on the birth weights?
No, I never had a big cow.
I never had a big calf out of it, but I would say the daughters of his, the biggest one was probably 1,300 pounds, but they were small until they were 4 or 5 years old. But they were functional. They were really nice udders.
I had a Howard daughter that I bet she weighed 1,050 as a mature cow.
Man, I tell you what, you guys should come look at my cows. You'll see them and you'll think, man, these are not very big cows. And I've weighed them, and I loaded them up, weighed them, and they'll weigh 1,300 pounds. And some bigger than that. It surprised me. That's how I know the 1,000-pound cows or 1,100-pound cows are tiny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a trip to Sherman though. But
let's talk to Randy's got us a question.
Yeah, Randy's got one. Hey, Christina, thanks for joining us. What state of production and BCS is mature cow size measured? Mature cow size measured is when you go to wean the calf.
Mature cow size it's something you turn in at the weaning weight of the calf.
Yeah, when you wean the calf, you give an udder score, and then the udder score is all subjective or anything. Like we can pull up calf weaning is what Clark says. And then we got Randy. The trend of smaller cows is flipping now, though. And then I think the reason why it's flipping now is because the packers want you to. Because I don't know if you noticed the kill weights went up from, it was average 1350 in October of last year, and now it's all the way over 1,500 pounds. So they're holding them longer on feed to make up for the deficit of the cow size.
And that'll get you paid if you are
retaining ownership.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's not a number that justifies a 1,600 pound cow versus
I like about
1,100 and a half or 12 and a half.
I like a 13 and a half, 1,300 pound calf. Cow.
That extra calf. If you ship 2 4-weights versus 1 8-weight, which checks bigger?
I mean, but it only sounds good in theory. But here's the thing. Okay, if our cows are too big, even though most of the Angus cows these days are 1,800 pounds, we had the feed efficiency test to show that our cattle can do more with less.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But if our cattle can do more, if they can do more with less, doesn't that mean? Because in my mind, I'm always on whatever will allow me to run the most of it.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of cow is going to give me the best stock.
But I guess what I'm trying to say,
I don't think anybody disagrees with what we're saying. This is just something that ChatGPT came up with that we don't agree with. Obviously, none of us.
Well, I don't know if we disagree with it. I'm just adding a different perspective. But I guess all I'm trying to say is a small cow all by itself does not make her more efficient. That's all I'm saying.
No, absolutely.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah, agreed for sure.
You can have a small cow that eats as much as a big one, but I mean, she's just worthless at that point.
All right. So moving on, we have heat tolerance misconception. They excel in hot climates, but many producers in the north believe they are strictly a southern breed, which limits adoption, even though they perform well in many environments. And they absolutely do. We got cattle in Minnesota, Kentucky. I mean, from Idaho,
where's Zimke's
Minnesota.
At?
Yeah. I mean, the Zimke's in Minnesota, and they've really changed the image in their area.
That's
of Beefmasters, so they're selling some bulls up there just as long as she can provide a calf each year. Absolutely.
We're talking bare minimum there, Mr. Warren. Bare minimum.
Yeah. Bare heat tolerance is it's definitely a misconception.
Because I don't like saying heat tolerant. I like saying adaptability.
Adaptability is the best word. The Beefmaster, I mean, in my experience, they're probably one of the most adaptable animals for my environment.
I mean, I don't know what we got to do to get them somewhere extreme to see if they can make it. But
I agree with that, what you just said, Mike. But I also think we do better along that southern region. Because when you look at us compared to them Angus cattle, and Clark would know about this better than me, or even Herefords, you get so far up north, them Beefmasters are not going to hair up like them English cattle. And they can make it, but it gets cold enough where they're going to have more to eat. They're going to have more to eat, so their conversion is going to be higher. While that Angus may do 6 pounds of feed to 1 pound of gain, I'm talking about when it gets real cold, that Beefmaster may need 10 pounds to 1 pound of gain. Now, they'll both survive, but one's going to thrive. I think our wheelhouse is across this southeastern region, and we've not mastered that yet. So I'm talking about Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas,
Mississippi,
Tennessee,
Missouri,
right on down, and that's
Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, they're not that far north, but I did not see any red cows except for at Clark's when I drove from. I flew into Nashville and then drove 2 hours, and there was a lot of cows that I saw, and I never saw anything other than it was either Angus or Charolais. That's the only thing I saw. I didn't see any.
Were they purebred white ones, or were they like smokes?
There were smokes, but there's some purebred ones. I saw purebred Charolais herd right there alongside the highway, and it was a nice looking herd too. And I actually made the comment to myself that if all Charolais look like that, I might consider breeding Charolais.
We need to identify where we can get in a 3-way cross.
Well, yeah, Clark, we want to be in the rotation for the 3-way cross because then that's the commercial cattle industry. So you have right now I'm going to use Angus bulls, and then I'm going to use Hereford bulls, and then I'm going to use Charolais bulls or Red Angus, or whatever, or Simmental or Sim Angus. So how do we get in those rotations? I mean, everybody thinks that polled. I mean, that's something that a lot of people have been working on, and there's people that will not buy a horned bull. And then, like you look at the polled Hereford versus the horned Herefords, which I had this discussion with Robert Williams the other day. He's going to be on the podcast as long as he watches it and feels like he wants to join in on it. But he's going to talk about the EPDs and stuff. But he was, where was I going with that? The horns, like the difference between horned Hereford and polled Hereford. That's where I was going with it. Is the phenotype is you go to the show and they don't look any different.
No, I think the polled ones look. I think the polled ones look better. They've
stepped up. So back 15 years ago, that wasn't the case. No. I mean, they did not look the part. So. That selection pressure obviously paid off, and they're doing better. I don't think on the wheel it specifies Hereford or polled Hereford or anything like that. But like you look at.
Do you guys think it would be beneficial if we could, and I know it wouldn't be an easy thing to do, but if we advertise, we talked about what problems our cattle can fix. I mean, because that black baldy calf, or at least in my opinion, one reason why it's so popular is because they know that joker is a cross. It couldn't have a white face if it didn't have Hereford. So it's got that built-in heterosis. And Mike, in your part of the world, same thing with that F1 Tiger Stripe cow.
Oh man, right? They're the queen of the South. I mean, you can't. They're nuts. They have bad bags, and everybody knows it. But yet they still just dominate in this area. They deal with it. So is that? They're willing to sacrifice the disposition, the bad udders for the maternal superiority, the queen of the South for the Tiger Stripe F1s.
How do we get into that market? Because at some point, unless you want to keep buying cows, you're gonna need some bulls to make your own females. So
we work on our E6 program.
I want to rebrand the E6 program, but I've been beating that dead horse for 10 years.
We need to get you a cap that says BMX.
Yeah, BMX.
And just every time you want to talk about BMX, you put on
BMX. I've been on the commercial marketing for about 10 years now, and I bring it up every year, and it always just gets swept under the rug, like real quick. This year is actually even quicker. I brought it up.
It was Mike.
Mike, and then moving on. So you can try it for so long. I'm going to continue to be on the commercial marketing, and I'm going to continue to bring it up every year because I do think that you have a great product as the E6 is, but you have to explain what it is. Well, what's an E6? What's a Beefmaster Cross? Why not just eliminate that conversation? Just call it BMX, and then you have that recognition from BMX.
But let me ask you a question. Would you change the outcome if you don't promote it better than we are currently?
Say that again.
If you don't promote it better than we're promoting the E6, would changing the name help you?
No, changing the name would help promotion because it would make more sense because
it's more logical.
How much time have you spent explaining the E6 program to somebody? Accumulative in your lifetime?
Me, none. But I'm sure somebody has.
I'm sure I've got probably 6 hours of explaining what an E6 is.
I got way more than that. I don't think it is. But Clark says we need to prove we won't hurt carcass. We have the best cows in the industry. We have to prove it. I agree with that 100%. I mean, we have.
But who do we need to prove it to, Clark?
Because that's the thing, though. Like you have, and at the very bottom it says other breed composite breeds. So you have other breeds. Charolais, they sell 9%. They're going to hurt your carcass grade. So is that really where we need to improve on?
Yeah, but they got the yield grade, and that's part of it. And so, I mean, Because at the end of the day, I think it's the sale barns that determine what people want to raise. I mean, they want Angus because they bring the most at the sale barn on average, and the buyers influence that. So what can
Order
we
buyers.
do?
So how can we change the image of the order buyers by going and talking to
Well,
the order buyers?
here's my question for you: who buys all your calves when you run them through Hollisville?
Glenn's Packing.
Guess who buys all mine?
Glenn's.
Baby Joe. Baby
Oh,
Joe
Baby
buys
Joe buys
every animal. You want a cheat sheet, boys? Y'all run them. Y'all put a yellow tag in their ear, in a Beefmaster calf's ear. Baby Joe's gonna buy it.
Data.
He knows what they're gonna do.
Yeah, we've been doing business with Glenn's Packing for, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years. On average, bring a steer a month on a slow month. And they know that our animals, we've been working on carcass. They know they're going to perform. So that we have animals that don't meet our criteria. You know, they're most of the time we have heifers that won't breed. Those will go to the sale barn, or we'll keep steers back, or we'll have a customer bring steers and we'll buy their steers back from them. But the order buyers are who's buying the cattle, and how do we? I mean, data might help.
I still it's gonna be the crosses. It's gonna, in my opinion, get down to how well you work on Angus, because we're fighting against certified Angus beef, man. I mean, we're not going to overtake that. I mean, that's just a dream. It's not happening.
No,
But
absolutely.
that's my opinion.
Yeah, we're never going to compete with that. But we don't want to compete with Angus. We want to complement Angus. Like, they have the carcass. We just need to prove to them that they're not going to go backwards. And then color. I think the color palette's cleaned up drastically depending on whose herd you're going to.
So I think what we have to do, in my weird little thought process, is we just have to convince them to not discount, because we're not going to match some of the terminal performance of some of those breeds. We're just not going to. But what we have to do is explain to people, hey, your average cow out there is 8, 9, and 10 years old. Okay.
Yeah, that longevity.
You need to buy a Beefmaster bull, use them for 3 years, keep your heifers back, and you just need to get paid the same as you would get paid on those other calves.
But I think they do, except with the exception of Black Angus. I mean, I heard a story of a guy that bought some bulls from us out of Arkansas, and this was like 10 or 12 Red River Beefmaster bulls, and he was tickled. And then there was like a Hereford calf or two on there, and they cut the Hereford off. They wanted the Beefmaster crosses. They cut the straight Herefords off. Straight Charlet cannot sell with a Beefmaster because they're not healthy. So all you got in that regard that we take a back seat to is a straight Angus.
Straight Angus.
And straight Angus back on them English cows, they ain't going away with Beefmaster on them English
You're
cows.
not going to get that heterosis that the industry knows heterosis exists. Like, look at Sim Angus. I mean, Sim Angus is they're dominating, and they're cleaner and they're big. Like Simmental Angus, and then I think the Simmental is 14%. So maybe that's how they're creating it. All these, for the exception of Red Angus, they're all animals that people use in making other breeds. Like, you got Angus Hereford, you got Brangus. I mean, you got the top trickles down to the bottom. But the Beefmaster is made up of Brahman, which is 3%, and then where is it? Shorthorn 3%, and then Hereford 20%. So it's all trickle down. It's all trickle down.
We need to compare this to where we're at with registrations.
Oh, we're down on registrations.
Because Longhorns do beat us in registrations.
Longhorn people they're like Appaloosa people.
I know, but I'm just saying, Longhorns are beating us in registrations.
Really? Yeah, I have to look up that.
We had this conversation.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think, and this is not cause any ripples in the water, but just being fully transparent, how much of this is marketing? What do we need to do to get the word out to even get people interested enough to look at trying a Beefmaster or wanting to research trying a Beefmaster, and not just the quantity, but the quality of our content? you know, I saw a Beefmaster ad. It's been a couple of years ago, and it was a picture of a cow from the front, and her knees were literally touching.
So
I don't think that's good advertising, but that's Robert.
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
The West was won on a Hereford cow.
Absolutely. I mean,
The
Hereford
West
is a
was
class.
the West was
classic.
won on a Hereford cow. Why was the West won on a Hereford cow?
Discount guys buying. Yeah, we get discount. I don't get discounted. Like this is. I hate to bring it up, but do you remember during the paint mandate? And I was for it. I just was against how they went about it. But I was making a video.
You had a big old picture of your big old paint bull calf with Paint Lives Matter plastered all over.
That was funny for me.
It was great.
It was great. But that was probably my most profitable cow. Was that bull calf's mom.
What'd that bull calf bring at Selborne that year?
No, this is so that bull calf. I cut him. I had two bull calves, and I had 4 solid red ones, and then 2 paint ones. And I was actually I was hoping that it would work out in the advantage to prove the point where, hey, paint calves get a discount. But no, they outsold the solid red ones that were, I would call them just as good, but there was people in there that wanted them. They were stout. I don't know where they ended up. I don't know. Glenn's back and bought the red ones, but some other guy bought them, and I was trying to make a funny video of it, but I couldn't. It didn't prove my point. So.
No, I get. So Jared, here's my question, and this is like truly me needing to understand it. Why, if all the beef is getting killed by the same 5 guys, right? It's Cargill. It's
Cargill, JBS, Tyson.
It's really those 3. I can't.
That's it.
So really. if all of us, or if all of our cows are ending their time in or going into the food chain with the same 3 guys, why are they willing to spend the money on those cattle in South Texas and not Missouri? Because we're not close to any big kill plants. We're not close to any big feed yards.
But
Murillo's way up.
But Bennett,
kill plant in Corpus now.
But Bennett.
Yes,
some of them cattle that you're selling in South Texas are going to be fed in South Texas.
Yeah,
so you don't have to truck them to Kansas, and you're not going to feed them in mega cold weather. I think that's what Jared would be saying, but I don't know.
Yeah, and this is a conversation that we need to have across the country on how we can improve the image of Beefmasters.
And I'm not really arguing a point here. I'm trying to get some of you folks that know a little bit more than old Benny
just playing devil's advocate.
No, yeah, I agree. He said you're in Texas. But anyway,
you're in Texas.
But now if they ship those cattle, if they were going to ship those cattle to Kansas, even if they did just as good in Kansas, they're going to pay you less because you got to ship them to Kansas.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
They're going to figure that mileage in.
I would be curious. Like we have Next Gen that they use Beefmaster. Do they discount the Beefmaster calves that they buy back, or that they buy from their order buyers buy? I mean, if you're in the business, you can get something for you buy a load of calves and get a 30-cent discount on a whole load. That might be.
I don't know. I don't know what they'll say or what they do, but I know you make money on how you buy them.
Yeah,
so I do know that.
Do. So our order buyers send cattle to Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas. So there's not enough ear cattle in our area to make a load. So
that's a different problem.
That's a different problem. Yeah. So I have the next one is on the negative about Beefmaster cattle. It's horns. Although many Beefmasters are naturally pulled today, horn cattle still exist in the breed, which can require additional management. And then this is another perk, like in our area, we're starting to get the screwworm stuff, which it just adds another step to the management on dehorning. It's another risk. It's an open wound. So is that something that's gonna get real popular really quick? Is fold bulls? And I've already seen the trend going that way prior to the screwworm outbreak in Texas, which I wouldn't even call it an outbreak. I think there's 33. Yeah. The USDA is on it. I don't think there's. It's just a lot of hype. it is something that we're going to be concerned about. But South America, we buy a lot of beef, a couple million pounds a year of beef that is raised in those conditions. So if they can do it, we can do it. And your grandpa had to deal with it growing up. It's just another step.
I'm not sure.
But polled. Let's look at the wheel and see Angus, polled, Hereford. Red Angus, polled, Sim Angus, polled, Simmental, polled.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Let's
I mean,
Google
there's probably a higher percentage of polled semis than polled beefies.
I tell you what, more than polled, if you look at those top 5 or 6, what they do have is carcass. They're either gonna have yield or they're gonna have marbling. One of the two.
All right, so Simmental
More than polled.
Either horned or naturally polled, with the polled trait being genetically dominant. So there's homozygous polled. What about the carcass? I haven't really looked at
I don't think their
Simmental.
carcass is that good. I think they're just they're the option to add, some frame and some just hybrid vigor to an Angus cattle.
Premium. So apparently they marble pretty decent. So yeah, but polled. And then let's continue on balancer. Would you say balancer polled? I guess it depends on what they're crossbred.
I don't know enough about the balancer breed.
Brangus, I mean, if the underlines really need to get cleaned up, and Brangus is selling 5%, first they're all black.
They're all black and they're all polled, but they all got sheaths that drag the ground.
Yeah, they've got better.
They've gotten better.
They've got better,
but they haven't gotten better like we've gotten better.
And then their disposition. So disposition is a huge selling point to me, but it obviously is not
to the rest of the world.
It's not to the rest of the world. They're not going out there. They're not certified cow cutters. So
because some of the Angus cows,
they'll get you. Yeah, you go to the sale barn in our area. You go to Cuero. As soon as they see the black one, they got old magnet ass going. I mean, they're hugging that fence.
It's legit. And I mean,
Yeah, you gotta watch them. They're shifty.
The worst acting cow in my place is a certified Charbray.
Is she like smoky?
She's solid white.
Solid white.
She's a white with a bunch of hair in her.
Let's see.
She's leaving this week.
The worst one I've had is a red one, but she was a good cow though, so I dealt with it. Yeah.
I've had some tigers that were pretty easy going. I just think if you're doing the Tiger Strike program, you're doing it on such a scale.
Yeah. Limousine. I don't know enough about Limousine. Brahman's 3%, but it's the base of every eared cattle. I mean, they bring ear to everything.
Yeah, but here's my just bring it up here. From Brahman down, you're better off using that breed of cow with a certifiable maternal sire on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in my mind, the Brahman bull thing should be exactly whatever it takes to breed the commercial Brahman cows in the world.
I mean,
because what kind of cow are you running a Brahman bull on?
Hereford cows.
Where are there that many Hereford cows?
In this area, there's not very many.
Where are there enough Hereford cows to make that one pencil?
Does anybody on here have any they're Hereford in your area? Do you see like a Hereford herd that they have a Brahman bull on it? I mean, I don't think.
Because in my mind, you send them Hereford cows to somebody.
Muscatali used to do that every once in a while.
When they do it weird though. They do it with a red Brahman.
Yeah, red Brahman.
They would do it with a red Brahman.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
cool. We found one in a 200-mile radius of Victoria.
200-mile radius of Victoria. Muscatali, they do a really good job over there. But then you got the Hempels. They do polled Hereford, but They don't do anything but polled Hereford.
You don't know. They're all just polled Hereford.
All polled Hereford, purebred. They got some nice bulls over there.
They make a little bit of change on it too.
Louisiana, Texas, Florida. Yeah, they do that, but I don't.
But see, if I had me a Hereford cow and I lived in Louisiana, I'd be kind of worried about my Hereford cow.
I'd be actively trying to breed it out fairly quick. There's a small herd near Edna that has a white Brahman bull on Herefords.
But isn't that to make cows?
Yeah, that's to make replacements, and then that's our selling point is the maternal part of it. So.
But if you look at those top breeds, the reason why every one of those are popular is because they can also make steers. So if we're going to grow the market, I'm not saying you got to dominate the steer business, but you kind of need to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, people pay the bills with the steers. Like you can't even keep heifers if you can't get enough for your steers.
Yeah, Brahman, those steers get hammered. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
A purebred
Brahman steer brings nothing.
A purebred Brahman steer, you know what you do with them?
You shoot them and leave them in the pasture. It's not worth shipping. I mean, they don't bring anything. I mean,
and that's exactly why people see it feasible to go buy F1 Tigers as opposed to raising them.
And here's the other thing on them though. Them Brahman boys,
they're working on.
They're not cutting them calves. I don't think I've ever seen like a purebred Brahman cut run through the barn.
No, they're just because they don't want to handle them very much.
I mean, you're praying somebody wants that Brahman bull for something.
Yeah, so Brahman cows. But Brahman still has 3%. And then Santa Gertrudis has 4 times the market as we do, and they have way better uniformity than we do.
Is this Captain King's fault?
But wait, do they?
What, Santa Gertrudis?
I know they're all red, but I don't know that their carcass is consistent across the board.
No, they have a pretty good carcass.
They're all the same shade of red.
Yeah, but it don't matter if you look the same on the outside if you don't look the same on the inside.
I agree. I mean, I would probably
come on now.
I'd say they're probably all uniform, but I bet they're all uniform closer to.
They're all kind of half-ass crazy.
High standard.
Yeah, they're all kind of half-ass crazy, but the calves typically are dark red on a commercial breeding program. So
and
maybe
I can see where if you used a Gert bull on Hereford cows, you'd get
those Star 5s.
You'd get more. Well,
those are fancy. I really like them Star 5.
And then if you had like a set of Charolais cows, you're going to get more solid yellows versus a Beefmaster bull. You might get some more yellow paints.
Yeah, you do get those yellow paints, definitely.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about the yellow paints.
Hey, some of the best cows I've ever owned were yellow paints, so I'm not complaining.
But I get it. I think it's just the differences of experience. Up here in my part of the world, I don't ever see a Santa Gertrudis bull ever. Yeah, but you can drive down the road and see a Beefmaster bull, and I'll tell you, on black cows, you generally get black calves with a few reds, no doubt. And then I've got a neighbor; he had a mixed set of cows, and he still got mostly red calves. So, I don't know.
Color uniformity sure matters to those order buyers putting those lows together. And then, Gene, we agree with that the Santa Gertrudis is overrated. But we have Briggs Ranch right here in Victoria. They kill it. They're good at it. They have good carcass.
What's that? Is it the Victorian that they're real high?
Yeah, Red Victorian, which they're nuts. Like,
what is that? The Red Victorian.
It's a composite breed with Gert, Brahman, Hereford. It's just kind of like a little bit of everything that they have down at the.
I thought it was just 3/4 Gert, 1/4 Hereford.
No, I thought it was a mix of. Hold on.
Google
it.
What's a Victorian?
Yeah, we're learning stuff tonight. So
is it a Victorian or American Red? Or are they the
Victorian?
Same thing?
I think Victorian. Victorian cattle. Let's see, but Victorian cattle are distinctive composite breed developed in South Texas at McFadden Ranch in the early 20th century. They're best known for their 3/4 Hereford, quarter Brahman genetic makeup. That don't sound right. I thought it was maybe they get the Hereford and the Brahman influence from that, but it's AI, so it's got to be right. It's on the internet. Beef quality. Well, Brahma cattle originally beef. Hybrid improved marbling and palatability compared to purebred Brahma. So they're saying the hybridization improves the marbling.
Okay.
So it's all about putting a load of uniform calves together. But yeah, we got to get we're gonna get a move on it. Where's that other one?
We're having so much fun.
We're having so much fun talking about the problems.
Can we talk about something positive? Can we find something positive?
All right. Temperament varies by program is the negatives. We've already beat this dead horse. Let's end on something positive. U.S. cattle industry. Here we go. Inventory. Move.
I don't want to listen to the intro.
You don't want to hear the intro again. You got to be patient with me. I'm not a pro at this. Image file. Go back to U.S. cow herd. Beefmaster genetics can improve. Here we go. All right, how Beefmaster genetics can improve commercial efficiency. The U.S. cow herd has declined for decades. It takes the right kind of female, fertile, efficient, adaptable to turn that trend around. Beefmaster genetics bring real-world function that helps build from the ground up. See, now that's another thing is price. If you want top Beefmaster genetics, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, cost of entry into our breed is.
It's too expensive. We need more cheaper cattle. I just don't want it to be mine.
Well, I just don't know how to make them. I mean, who's willing to do that? I just don't know because.
Hey, fellas, it wasn't meant for everybody to drive a Cadillac.
It wasn't.
We're gonna sell to the people that can buy them.
But Robert, I don't know if you're the man to talk on this particular deal because what did those Red River heifers average again?
They did good.
6,500, but in this market and having a place to go back with them and an option to AI and everything else like that, I think they were worth that.
No, Robert,
yeah,
they're worth that. They're worth that, and they're probably worth more than that. Let's all call a spade here. I'm just saying. The guys that have the Beefmaster cows, I think most of us kind of do it right.
Yeah, everything on here, I mean, more live calves, longer lasting cows, low input efficiency, heated and adaptable, environmental adaptability, heterosis advantage, calm disposition, profit through function. All of these stuff, we have a lot of research on it. Maybe not the calm disposition, but I mean,
it's but
it's all subjective. But
you're
I don't think calm disposition matters to 90% of the cattle industry.
I agree, Mike.
I don't think like the F1s have just kicked our ass, and I love the disposition, but I don't think the real commercial cattle industry, pardon my language, I don't think they give a shit.
I don't think the real commercial cattle industry. I think our chart over there said the real commercial cattle industry doesn't really care about the Beefmaster right now as it is.
No, 0.5%. So,
but you know what our 0.5% is? Our 0.5%.
It's all seed stock breeders, I guess.
And the grandmas and grandpas of the world who have 20 cows and want a bull they can go pet on, they go get a beefy.
So how do we change that? Like, is there like a?
But don't you think we could do a better job of getting the word out?
I agree, absolutely. I mean,
until we check that box, can we really complain about the other stuff? I'm just asking because if I'm in the Gulf Coast Cattlemen, go to the Gulf Coast Cattlemen right now. You're gonna see lots of ads for Brangus and Charlotte. You're gonna see it. Go through it and see Hereford too.
Yeah, you see one or two ads for Beefmaster. You see, I think I saw Red River in there.
I mean, it will never pencil for Bennett Jansen to put an ad in the Gulf Coast County.
And I think printed ads are kind of. I mean, I hate being that guy, but I think it's kind of dying out. It's petering out.
But
just like Blockbuster. I mean, when was the last time you said? Do you know what a Blockbuster is?
A Blockbuster video is where you go in
so
there.
You're not that
a videotape.
So he's not that young. But Greg had a good idea. Why would cooperative commercial marketing work? So how do you attract those people? You know, show them. a cow chasing somebody up the fence and getting after it, a good mama. I mean, I've heard guys say that argument. I like them a little spicy because they make better mamas.
I think what Greg proposed would be good, but I think the obstacle would be the same thing you run into with like a sale that and the same thing that I guess a Red River would get into or any kind of satellite. And that is you can have like-minded people, but everybody filters what they see through different lenses. So unless you wanted to code pretty hard, you still wouldn't necessarily get the uniformity that you think you want to have, in my opinion.
Here's my question. What's the program that sells the most uniform looking ones?
Bulls or heifers?
Next gen beef on George, Red River.
I would argue that
Collier's
is the uniformity capital of the group. BLF got all the colors.
It's got a lot of variations, but man,
I'm gonna say for heifers, if you're talking about a satellite or an individual, if you're talking about an individual, my man Clark Jones on them females. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke there. He's the top dog. There ain't close.
But me, I mean, I'm not poor, but I couldn't. I guess there was a couple animals that you could have bought.
I got whooped on my attempt at 50. I mean,
yeah, you weren't in there very long. We lost Robert. We're gonna get Robert back here in just a second. All right, there you go.
Welcome back, Robert. But see, like I feel like the cattle in our breed that are perfect to go to the commercial cow guy and entice those guys, we're all fighting over.
Yeah, because we're trying to produce.
Because we're trying to do the same thing. So that makes the cost of entry so out there.
Like the Beefmaster breed has something very unique, as in the satellites. It's I encourage people to join satellites.
Have we as a breed built up a wall around us to stop the commercial cow guy from getting in?
I mean, maybe that is true.
Because we all
the good ones
but like even let's go to Live Oak. Let's take the worst heifer at Live Oak. Is she going home with a commercial guy at 4,500, or is she going home with a registered guy at 4,500? She's going home with Mike or Bennett, right? That's the deal here. We don't have a program to get these guys involved.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like the paperwork. They don't like all the nonsense. They don't want to do that, especially commercial guys. Which I talked to. This is from Cameron. I talked to him after Clark's sale, and his calf raiser. They put in embryos for him as a commercial operation. They normally run Charolais bulls, and then they were so impressed with the calves that Cameron was producing that they're buying embryos from him, buying bulls and everything else. That's I think we gain the market by results. Maybe I think that's a better thing. And
we got to be willing to share those results.
What if we had like a commercial? You have a commercial bull sale, true commercial bull sale. It's a purebred Beefmaster. It's got DNA. It's got everything. All that stuff, but you don't present any of that stuff. All you get is the EPDs, because a lot of the buyers do like EPDs. It's a cheat sheet, and I believe in EPDs. I'm going to utilize EPDs, and I've seen it improve my calf crop, especially with like genotyping and the 100K DNA testing. I feel like the EPDs. I can go look at a cow in my pasture, and I know that cow, especially when they're they got some age on them, and I can tell you pretty much what her EPDs are going to be. Oh, she's going to be higher birth weight.
So, here's my question: what is the percentage of bulls that are registered that go into a bull sale? What is the percentage? Let's look at last year's. Go back 2 years. Look at the bulls registered as calves. How many did we sell?
At registered sales.
We've got to know that number, because I bet it's an alarmingly high percentage.
Yeah, that would be a good piece of information. So I'll have to.
I bet that. I mean,
I'll
I
have to
bet
reach
it's
out to Lance for
ridiculous.
that. But that's some good information. But
Because if
I like the. I mean, I hate to beat this dead horse. Is whole herd reporting. You know, there's a push for it from the association, but I think it's a good push. Like I think that it's going to add value. It's going to add another layer of trust for the commercial guys.
guys, if there's ever been a time in our lives that it makes sense to put in a little extra effort just for the reason of getting to handle the cattle more, it's now. They've never been worth as much as they are.
We
have, you know, we're getting to the point to where you need to handle them pretty regularly to keep an eye on them for screwworm and stuff like that. And it's the potential cost of loss has never been higher than it is now. So if we're gonna make a point to take care of them better, why can't we get a wean and weight?
But here's the deal. I don't. You don't have to be in whole herd reporting to get a weaning weight. And I'm not a. Let me say this. I'm not opposed to whole herd reporting. But what are you guys going to do if everybody signs up for whole herd reporting and our bull market continues to diminish? Then what? At some point, some of this stuff we're putting forth has to show results, or people are going to start to lose faith in all these ideas. It looks like another gadget.
So give us your plan of action for the Beefmaster breed. We make Robert Scott the EVP tomorrow. What is his plan of action?
Well, I think we got a pretty good EVP. I do want to add that.
No, I love Lance. I love Lance.
Someone I got a lot of respect for. I want to put that out there. I think that's important to know.
I'll fight somebody for talking bad about my buddy Lance.
That's not what I was doing.
That's our boy.
I know. But I want to point out that I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong.
Yep.
But what Robert Scott would do as an EVP, I would look at the content we're putting out, and I would promote the fire out of Beefmasters, and I would promote calf I would promote calf survivability. I would promote health in the feedlot. Who likes doctoring calves? I would promote the longevity. How a calf that lives to be 12, or how a cow that lives to be 12 years old makes more money than one that lives to be 10 years old, right? And so the longer, and hey, now that's more important since cattle prices are higher, because hey, the more you spend, if the calf prices drop, it's going to take longer for them to pay you back, right? So I need them in production.
That cow. If her into service is 8, you've got to amortize that. You know, you've got to depreciate her over 8 years.
No, right. Now you're talking, Bennett. So what I'm saying is this. Here's what I'm saying. That longevity, that feed efficiency that we did so good on that test, that's what I'm promoting. That adaptability. Hey, here's what a Beefmaster Angus cross calf can do in your pasture. He's going to gain better. Okay, he's not going to be as sick because he's more comfortable, and the heat's not going to stress him. Those kind of things. That's what I'm tackling. And then what can we do? What can Beefmaster cross calves do on the fescue? Huh? What can they do on the fescue belt? They'll kill it. And then down there on that Gulf Coast, you need a little bit of insect resistance. Well, the Brahma might be too much, but we got just the right blend, do we not?
I think it's a good balance.
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's a good balance. But this is another thing I found interesting. It says U.S. cattle inventory comparison. A look back 25 years and where we stand today. So total cattle inventory from January 2001, which is 25 years ago, to January 2026, it's down to 11.2 million.
Yeah, no, 11.2 million.
11.2 million, and then the one that really took a hit was the beef cows. It's down almost 20%. So that's beef cows. That's cow calf operations. Replacement
heifers down 71%.
So there's a trend up. I saw a graph, and the replacement heifers that they've been keeping back 2 years. How many heifers are on feed? It's getting more.
So it's saying we have 86.2 million head in the inventory. What percentage does that come out to of beef cows? Is it right at a fifth? A little more than a fifth.
Beef cows.
30 out
it's
of
a third.
30 out of 90, a third. Yeah.
It's a little over a third. Calf crop, 36.3 million. So we have that. So we have twins. Those numbers don't even add up. So we have beef cows, 34.4 million head in the beef cows, but then we're creating 36.3 million calves. Is that they considering? Because I know we got beef on dairy.
They're counting your beef on dairy calves there.
Yeah, Larry Larimore has fescue pastures, and his thrive in Florida, especially. I mean, those Florida buyers see that Larimore brand, and they jump all over it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if you're.
I don't think ChatGPT. We're gonna pull this off here. Those numbers aren't mathing to me, so we're gonna move on.
Math doesn't math.
Yeah.
Guys, what questions do you have for Mikey, Robert, and I?
Yeah, we're not going to go too long. We're right at an hour. We are officially on YouTube live also, and then I'm working on getting it on Spotify this week.
Yep, and we've got all of our.
I have every episode, so if you guys want to look back, we started doing this. We've missed one Sunday since March 2nd. So, every Sunday, Bennett calls me up and says, "Hey,
it's
Sunday again." So. It's a lot of this is a lot of work to do this and to stay relevant and to be entertaining. Like that's what it's all about. We want to be informative, obviously.
And then the extra time we spend staying up to date on what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and then we've had this discussion with Robert, which we really appreciate Robert and his input on this. He's a great asset to Beefmaster Stuff. He's a great asset to the breed. I mean, you have people that are still refusing to acknowledge that social media marketing works because Red River.
We dealt with that this week.
What's that?
We dealt a little bit with that this week.
Yeah, we had to deal with a little bit. We had a meeting with a certain group, but they keep wanting to discount it. But I just tell them, look, I use Red River as the example. So, and then Beef on Forage, they've had a really good presence on Facebook. There's just a lot of groups that have utilized social media. Strategy Cattle, I mean, they're killing it on Facebook. I mean, they post seems like 2-3 times a day. They're from what I've been told. You like that? Yeah,
we love the inside jokes.
Yeah, there's some inside jokes there. If
you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But I think we really appreciate all our viewers, and then the live conversation. That's why this is, I think, is really unique. So we're going to be on Spotify. Obviously, you're not going to get live commentary on Spotify, but we showed on the screen so you can read back and kind of see where you have Randy saying some random stuff, random question. They're not random. They just seem random if you look at it.
No. If it's Randy, they might be random.
Dan, Randy's good.
I love Randy, but if it's Randy, it might not have anything to do with the conversation.
Yeah. So we really appreciate Robert's putting out some time. We've had Clark on several weeks ago. We like to have.
We had Clark on back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, we had him two weeks in a row. So it was good though. I think both between the two episodes, there's 16,000 views between the two episodes. So a lot of people.
Can I bring up one more thing?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, if you want to be on Beefmaster Stuff, please let us know. People do get tired of just me and Mikey talking to each other.
Yeah, I would love to have Jared Strickland. I mean, he kind of paved the way for us,
I'd love to do a podcast about podcasting and just compare our experience. People would love to listen to that.
And then maybe do a podcast about a podcast and know where we need to improve on. And I'd already talked to Dr. Robert Williams. I think Dr. Bowers, with, that might be a little hard sell for him. He might tick some people off or something on coming on here. But I talked to Dr. Robert Williams, and he seemed enthusiastic to, we got Beefmaster Burgers, make the best Big Mac wraps, hands down. Just ask me. And that is no lie. If you guys need some recipes, I highly encourage talking to the Zimke's because they got a Big Mac wrap recipe that is unreal.
Scary good.
It's in our lineup every week.
What's Noah Stockman got to say?
Let's go with Bryce first. I believe that those episodes are still on YouTube. However, we made huge strides as a breed since then. Absolutely, we're making it. I'll have to share those links on the RFD episodes and stuff like that. But we have no. This is random, but Beefmasters are the best because they're a combination of 3 breeds that have been upgrading for so many years. Shorthorn cattle, 400 years. Hereford cattle, 300 years. Brahma cattle tracing back thousands of years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why Beefmasters are so great to me. Oh yeah, we have meetings. Meetings this week. Or is it the 8th? Is it this week or next week?
It's this week.
This week. So we got Beefmaster summer meetings. So are you going to be there, right?
It depends on what days I'm off. I guess we can tell the folks that I got a real job.
Yeah, Bennett had to get a real job, unfortunately. But he's going to do well. And, maybe if we can make this Beefmaster marketplace work, we might get Bennett out of the real world. But like you have to have other incomes. My other income is feeding cattle, raising cattle. I sell a lot of stuff. Will the meetings be on YouTube? I believe that they are working on that. But maybe we can do a live feed if you're able to make it up at the summer meetings. But I highly encourage. This is good camaraderie. It's great. It just gives you another excuse to meet with your Beefmaster family.
And Northgate this time of year, fairly good time.
Summer, there's not many kids
there. The kids are not in the way.
Yeah, so perks to. I mean, that's not good for you, but it's good for me.
It's great for me.
Oh, he's in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a good time for you too.
I think she's in the.
Yeah, she's in the house drawing with my daughters right now. So, well, we appreciate you guys for watching. Great points from
all
Noah.
The way around.
Yeah, all the way around. It was just a good conversation. If you didn't like something we said on here, well, oh well. I'm sorry. Not really though. We just got to be real with ourselves and have a conversation about where we can improve on to make this work, because we know we got good cattle, but we just need more people to use it, and we need to sell some cheap ones. I just don't want it to be.
We need to figure out how to incentivize more people to use it, because these guys. That's the other deal. You know why Charolais bulls are so high on there? Look at the average of the Charolais bulls that Next Gen sold, and the average of the Beefmaster bulls Next Gen sold. Those numbers were very different.
Oh, yeah, the Charolais bull sold less.
Like a lot less.
Yeah, through 2,000-3,000 less. I think there were 60.
Yeah, but what would that price be if you took the seed stock bulls out?
It's a good question. How many went to seed stock breeders?
Those Charolais bulls sold a lot of seed stock bulls. I might have bought one of them, but
yeah, yours wasn't cheap though.
20.
Yeah,
but
that's not cheap.
That was an average Beefmaster bull that day. That was a middle.
But your bull wasn't seed stock either. You bought him for commercial use, correct?
I mean, I'm making a bunch of advancers with him, but he was the leadoff bull. He was the leadoff white bull they sold that day.
Good deal.
Yeah, good deal. Well, we're going to get off here. We're trying to keep the episodes to an hour unless we have a sale catalog review, because those take a little bit of time. But we look forward to seeing you guys this week for those that are on committees. And then if you're not, just show up and enjoy some camaraderie, and we can talk about Beefmasters. There's no strangers at the Beefmaster summer meeting. This is a really good time. I really encourage you. We got the convention in Reno coming up, and I think they're having an early bird special still.
Be on the lookout for the Jansen Beefmasters and Friends catalog coming out this week.
Oh, coming out this week, and then we got Goodwin's sale too. So we're going to talk about that next week and kind of review that.
Do we have? Because mine's right after.
Oh, yours right after. We're gonna do. We'll do them all. We're here to help everybody. But you guys have a great evening. Thank you again, Robert, for joining us, and thank you all of our viewers for joining in and
sticking with us for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Robert.
You betcha.